Hi, everybody. This is the Swolemates update.
Like number 10.
Number 10.
So
That's 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
That's 10 weeks.
I think we only have half of them up though right now. I'm pulling out a big knot from my hair. Anyway, so just update on us this week. So Luke hasn't checked in since Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like for weight. So this week well, let's say mine first.
Y'all pause right here and take your guess and put it in the comments down below.
Take a guess. What do you think we weigh?
Almost 208 pounds on Christmas. How much do I weigh now?
I don't know what I was on Christmas. Hold on a minute.
Hang on, she's doing it.
Let me look
you
at
could be guessing.
Guess. What is your guess? So on Christmas, you were what?
Almost 208. It's like
almost
207 and some change.
Okay, I was 154.8. Okay. So anyway.
I weigh 203 right now.
Okay. So Luke is let's see.
And I'm not cutting.
I'm missing my notes. Okay. So let's say, okay, so first of all, I'm supposed to be like 14 weeks out from the show that I had planned. So this is a big question mark though. Put a question mark right in the middle of the screen. So if I'm 14 weeks out, then I kind of know where I need to be, like body fat wise. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get there. So we'll see. However,
you're never sure.
I'm never ready.
Everybody's like that.
Yeah. So 14 weeks out if I do the April show, but I'm going to kind of base it on where I am, like say mid-February, middle to end of February. I'll make a decision. And if not, then I will probably just pick a different show, maybe in May, whenever I'm out of school, like teaching school. I'm never going to be out of school in my doctorate. So ever.
Keep telling her she's going to finish.
Okay. But anyway, so I'm talking about like teaching, not studenting. So I'm supposed to be 14 weeks out. I did lose 3.4 pounds in a week.
Wow.
So I'm trying a different method that we had discussed of just like making higher days, lower days, like on non-training days. I'm way down on carbs.
Yeah.
And then I have a moderate day and higher days.
Too. I mean, Lord, I asked her, she asked me, she said, how much fat do you think I've had today? And I was like, I don't know, 36. She was like, 16. And that was just a few hours ago. I mean, and this is, what time is it? 6 o'clock?
So yeah, almost.
Yeah, so it's like 6 p.m. And so she just an hour ago had only had 16 grams of fat all day.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I don't have. I only have like 10 left. So my fat on non-training days, it's like, and this can be adjusted. I'm just kind of seeing where it goes. But anyway, so that's where I'm at, like in my progress. And like I did progress pictures yesterday, and so I'll probably post the comparisons. He didn't do those though. So him and his weight loss, and this is going to bring us to the topic of the week, because he's probably lost weight because he wasn't really, the last time he lifted was Wednesday. Because of why?
And this is Sunday. Because I got the Rona.
So yeah, he's not been. So Wednesday at the gym, he was like, what did you say? I don't know. He came up to me Wednesday at the gym and said, it just like all of a sudden hit him like pow, like he didn't feel good. And I'm like, yeah, you don't look good either. But he had like a tickle in his throat like the night before.
Yeah.
Right. And so then Thursday. So anyway, Wednesday was the last day he trained, and which is probably why his weight is down some too, because obviously if you're not feeling your muscles, like if you're, don't you think, like if you're not getting the pump, if you're not getting the pump at the gym.
I haven't been eating much either.
Well, plus his calories.
Because I haven't been eating much, not because I haven't been hungry, but because there's no reason
No
for me to sit
activity.
here and eat like I've been eating. There's no reason
Yeah.
for me to eat
So,
3,800 calories in a
You
day.
don't need all of the carbs, obviously, if you're not training. So this is our topic of the week, and it's come from this. So the question is, what do you do when you're sick? And
Any kind of sickness.
any kind of sickness. So what do you do about training? What do you do about your food?
Don't go to the gym.
Okay, yeah. So
I just had, it felt like a cold. But I got tested like the following morning.
Friday.
Yeah, that's what, like, not the next morning, but the following morning. So Friday. So
Thursday,
I took off work on Thursday.
Thursday, he wasn't feeling all that bad, but he had sick time to use anyway. And so, like I had said, probably don't go to work. And he wasn't feeling all that good.
And then I found out that I had been in contact with somebody that they tested positive. So.
And they were here the week before that. So anyway, so he needed to get tested for work and, did the quick test, came back positive. So he hadn't been to the gym since Wednesday, and he hadn't had like symptoms. So, I mean, obviously when you're sick, I made some notes here because I got some points that I wanted to point out. So number one, I said, if you're sick, obviously you want to prevent spreading. And always, like with any kind of sickness, like cold, flu, whatever, like number one, I say to Carter all the time, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Like wash your hands a lot. If you have symptoms that are going to spread things, like if you're coughing, if you're sneezing, if you're hacking all over the place, don't go around other people.
Yeah. So we'll just say that was number one. So basically, unless you have you probably shouldn't just go out. I mean, if you've got a cold, probably shouldn't go to the gym and risk spreading that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if you have,
and of course, if it's anything else, you probably shouldn't go to the gym either. You're not going to go to the gym with the flu or.
Well, no. And most of the time, if you have a cold or flu or anything, you're probably going to have like coughing or sneezing or something. And like any kind of respiratory illness, you don't want to project onto other people. Obviously you don't want to be up in people's faces anyway. And obviously since 2020, we're all, aware of spacing yourself out anyway. So that was what I put like number one, is just like prevent spreading, avoiding the gym altogether if you have any kind of symptoms. And number two, as far as you training, I think you want to evaluate your symptoms. Like, should you work out? Well, obviously, if you feel like crap, then don't.
Yeah,
I mean, your body's number one priority is to get better. If you are giving it more to do by training, you're preventing it from doing what it needs to do to get better.
Your body, like let's say in percentages, your body running normally, it's like 100%. Then you put gym recovery on it. And depending on how you actually push yourself in the gym, you may be like, say, at 80%.
I was going to say like 60 to 70.
Depends on, so how hard are you training? So like, okay, 60 to 80% then. Well, then if you throw something like an illness or an injury on top of that, your body's having to deal with that, plus your recovery. You may be down, we'll call it, 40%.
If you're like below 50, you're probably going to be struggling.
It's going to make everything worse. It's going to make your recovery from the gym is not going to happen. You're going to stay sick.
It's kind of like me with overloading my brain. That is taxing on your body, like just as much physically. So if I have a super amount of stress work-wise or brain-wise, whatever, then it's still stuff for my body to deal with. So if you're recovering from something and you're not 100%, you don't want to put more on yourself.
Yeah.
So, listen to your body. I mean, don't sit there and have a big ego and think, oh, well, I have to train through it.
Yeah.
Right. Because all you're going to do is set yourself back more. And if you're trying to train through an illness, you're probably more likely to set yourself up for an injury because your body's not functioning optimally. So, evaluate your symptoms, know what they are. Like I have always heard, if you have a fever, definitely you want to sleep. Like rest is when you're going to get better. And especially if you have a fever. Now, if you just have like head cold symptoms or something, like I said, all right, so let's say you're going to train at home and let's just say I have a head cold. I'm maybe sneezing, maybe runny nose. Well, it depends on the severity. If I'm going to work out at all, I might do something super easy. I might just like, okay, I want to move. I might just do stretching or something. If I feel like I have to do something, but again, you don't want to do something that is going to make you worse. I think your most important priority is to get better. But how do you know when to go back? Like, okay, so let's take you as an example, right?
Yeah.
So he hasn't lifted since Wednesday.
Now, as a disclaimer, when I went to the gym on Wednesday, I really, like, I felt like I had a head cold kind of coming on. I wasn't that bad. There wasn't like coughing, hacking, sneezing.
So this was 4 days ago.
Stopped up. I mean, and I really never got bad symptoms at all from this. So if I hadn't gone and gotten tested, I probably would have kept training because it wasn't even as bad as a normal cold. So I don't know. Anyhow, so I trained today in the home gym, but just a little thing because I basically just did a really, really quick full body, one exercise, one set for all the body parts and just blew through it. And it was, rough. It wasn't rough, but I mean, it was exercise because I've just been sitting around.
So did it feel hard?
It didn't feel hard. It was more like cardio. If that makes sense.
Okay, so it was cardio. All right. So train smart, just like that. And I actually had that as like number 4. I put rest as needed, but we already talked about that. And so I think like my number 5 was just easing back into it. So just like with what he did today, if he felt like he was better and it was time to do a little something, keep it very minimal. Oh my Lord, don't try to go back and right away do what you were doing. Just like he just did one set. I'm sure it wasn't something because like we don't even have the weight here to do what he would normally do, really.
Yeah, we got a pretty good amount. I don't know. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but you always go to the gym saying that like, because we don't have enough or whatever.
I mean, I did a little exercise last night too. I carried a transmission and a transfer case out of the garage for a guy to pick up. So that was exercise.
So those would be, I think, the top things, like when you're sick to, let your body rest, listen to it, evaluate your symptoms, ease back into it, be sure, try to stay very well hydrated when you're sick.
You should always be hydrated.
I mean, you should, but most people don't. A lot of people don't. But so like when you're sick.
We'll have to get into the hydration thing one other day.
Yeah.
Because
you could write a book on that.
I could tell you all kinds of, you should be hydrated.
Yeah. So, weren't you just talking about that today? Like you had a super bad headache and you think it's because you were severely dehydrated?
Yeah, and I drank well over a gallon yesterday. I don't know.
Then I'm sure you were hydrated enough.
I had a headache.
Yeah, I always have a headache. So, I have a headache right now. So, any questions? What do you want to add?
Anything I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much it. Well, so like you should probably, wait until your symptoms are gone on whatever it is. And then.
Oh, yeah. You want to be like all the way gone before you start.
You don't want to go in there.
Like I said, like ease back into it.
Yeah. And then get in there and,
so you're supposed to have a quarantine period with this certain thing, right?
Certain thing.
It used to be like 10 days. Now it's like 5 days, 7 days. Depends on who you work for.
Get done with your symptoms. Like we'll just call it a normal cold. We're not even talking about the other thing. But if you
cannot.
Yeah, you get clear of that. When you get back into the gym, if you've been off for a couple days, get back in there, or a week.
I'd say you should probably give it about a week.
Treat it like kind of like a deload.
Yeah, you want to go back into it as a deload. Yeah, don't use your sickness as like that was my deload, because it's not.
I rested for a week.
You got to go back. I'm talking probably 25 to 50% max of what you were doing. Start back at that.
Either
maybe like 25% week 1, maybe 50% week 2. Work your way, and then you can probably go back up, because your body's going to remember. You're going to be able to jump back up, but you don't necessarily want to jump back up as soon as you think you can.
And what she means by 50% is pick one or the other. Like, do 50% of your sets that you used to do. So if you did 4 sets, do 2, or do the same amount of sets and 50% of the weight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was even thinking like 25 to 50% of your weight.
I would have done 50%.
Yeah, well,
and I would
probably say if you've been, depends on how sick you were.
I usually cut the sets.
Yeah,
but
so
you'll see, like, after your warm-up
body.
sets on your bigger lifts, when you start your warm-ups and stuff like that, you'll be able to tell if you need to knock that back too. So maybe like cut your sets in half and knock your weight back to like 80% of what your working sets would have been.
I'm going to say like 50%.
I'm
going to say like 50% of each.
She's 50-50.
Yeah, I'm saying like half the weight, half the sets.
75-80 of the
Lord.
weight.
See, he's being a man here. So like
75-80 of the weight.
Take care of yourself, people, is what we're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I would call that taken care of.
Yeah, well.
He's
running around outside without a shirt on when it's cold, and he don't pay attention to me anyway, so.
No shoes, middle of winter, no shirt.
Okay. So anyway, I think that's probably the main things. And so, train smart, stay healthy, stay hydrated, get plenty of sleep, take care of yourself when you're sick. Eat right.
If you fill yourself with garbage, you're going to get sick.
Well, and you can't avoid it all the time, but like do the smart things. Like I swear, washing your hands. Make sure that you keep your hands washed. If your hands aren't washed, wash your hands.
You'll get sick.
What were you saying? I'm what?
She's always not sick.
Oh, well.
Every time I get sick, ever since we started dating, I had the flu, didn't get it. I have had some really, really bad cold stuff or sickness of some sort.
2020?
In 2020?
Yeah, end of 2020 was like from Thanksgiving to Christmas was a roller coaster. It was
Christmas till somewhere in January.
Yeah.
It was like
I'm pretty sure it was about 4 to 6 weeks of like 3. One into the other to the other.
3 sicknesses, and it was.
But there was a space in
never
there.
Got sick.
I could be sick, but I will fight it. So, if I die, y'all, just remember that if you don't see me next week, you can say, "Yeah, Holly should
never get sick."
Let's pray. Pray for me that I don't get sick. I'm trying really hard to not. Because everybody else around me has been sick. Like, sick. Everybody.
So just remember, don't go to the gym if you're sick.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Don't push yourself too early to get back into the gym if you've been sick. If you have a home gym and you just have to do stuff, if you're sick, don't. You want to feel better for several days before you get back into it. I mean, like he was not so great Wednesday,
and Thursday. But he was feeling better, and he definitely wasn't like as bad. He's gotten, I think, a little bit better each day. So it is Sunday. So he's had a couple of days of getting progressively better, I think, before he did anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you all for being
thank
here.
you. Stay
and
healthy.
We will hopefully be back next week.
We'll be back.
So we will see you then.